American best, and look at the reaction.
And this will be Sisson's day, it looks like. And Sisson has got it.
But it is Laird in the lead coming down the home stretch. You're not going to catch him. 1981.
You're watching Running Report, where running media is produced for and by the culture.
Welcome back to the Running Report, where we give you running news produced for the culture and by the culture. I'm your host, Joshua Potts. And before we get started, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram @_running_report_. And also make sure you subscribe to the Running Report as well, so you can make sure you get caught up on all the biggest running news that happens every single month. Because in the month of March, bro, it was all the college kids, all the NCAA kids that really took over. First, we had the epic NCAA Championship weekend of indoors and cross country, where we saw the dominance of the SEC on full display. Also, the Oregon Trio and the NAU Lumberjacks both illustrated their distance excellence at NCAAs. Lastly, it's the Bell Lab question, where I have to tell y'all how the U.S. Olympic trials, women's 5,000 meter and 10,000 meter, could be the most competitive thing that we see at the trials. Like, you may not believe me right now, but those 30-minute races is going to be some of the most interesting racing that we see in Eugene this summer. Then also, I gotta tell you guys, we are going to be doing a podcast version of this as well. Every single first Monday, the Running Report show will be released, so make sure to mark your calendars. Every single first Monday, we'll be going over the biggest running news that happens every single month, and also you can listen to the podcast that have extended version of all the laps. So let's get into it. We got 4 topics, 4 questions, and 4 laps to go. I'm excited, bro. This is gonna be a good one. With 4 laps to go, I want to talk about the SEC's dominance in the NCAAs, in the sprints, in the jumps so far this year, and especially in the month of March. Seeing Tyra Davis break the indoor collegiate record indoors and outdoors, then Terrance Laird running number 3 all-time collegiately. Like, SEC is really dominant right now. Look at the women's side on the Bowerman watch list. 5 of the 8 women right now are all from the SEC. That's including Athing and Tyra Gittens and Tyra Davis. And let's not forget on the men's side, you have people like Matthew Boling, Terrance Laird, and JuVaughn Harssion, who are really just killing the game right now. So the Bowerman's going to come from this side. Like, we can't really deny it unless Casey Lightfoot or Cole Hawker or those other distance dudes get it. But I think the SEC is definitely going to take the cake for the Bowerman. So I have to bring in Coach Will from Fast U and MPJ from MPJ TV on YouTube as well to talk this up and just really talk about, like, who's the most outstanding in the SEC right now and who's going to get this Bowerman award. So first off, Coach Will, like, where your head at? What you thinking? Who's most outstanding in the SEC right now?
Well, we from Texas, so the first thing we'll bring up is Texas A&M, right? So we have Athing obviously from Texas A&M, 800 meters, running like a beast, doing all she can, setting records every time she hit the track. She in the 4, the 8, and she did it in the 4x4. I think having those 3 feats kind of sets her as a front runner. Also, you can't ignore Tyra Gittens, her teammate, though, Yeah. She, what she do? Break it down for me. Tell me all the statistics. You got the stats. Tell me the stats.
Indoor pentathlon collegiate record, won the high jump indoors, and got 3rd place in the long jump as well at indoors as well. And, like, she hasn't stepped on the outdoor track yet, but, like, she's going to be there in the conversation, whatever she does.
The biggest thing is that when you're saying, who's touted to be the most impactful, I think that it's very close with all these athletes. But as far as, like, doing something that's never been done before, you're seeing athletes like, what's his name, from LSU that did the jumps?
JuVaughn Harssion.
Man, come on now. Ridiculous. So, like, that's really my biggest thing is, like, watching SEC rise like this. It's going to be definitely, like, one of the most biggest things that's happened to track. The times are ridiculous. So, I mean, realistically, outdoors, you never know what's going to happen.
And then for MPJ, what are you thinking? Who's the most outstanding in the SEC right now?
Hands down, and I don't even think it's close. It's Athing. Number 1, she's a freshman. Fresh out of high school, coming into the SEC, the hardest conference in the nation, and dominated. Will said she can hit you up in the 4, the 6, the 8, and the 4x4. She ran the American under-20 record her first time stepping on the indoor track at A&M. I mean, Tyra Gittens, she is a beast. Like, let's not disrespect her. Coming in the HEP, and what she get? She got 1st in the high jump and 3rd in the long jump at NCAA. So she's no slouch. but she's a redshirt junior. Athing Mu is a freshman. She's still learning how to work the college system. She's getting in the weight room. She's adjusting to her class schedule, and she's putting down times like this. So
very
for me,
key.
It's no competition. It's Athing Mu all the way.
I hear what both of y'all are saying, but I gotta give my 2 cents real quick because I see y'all, I really do, and I think when we define like dominance NCAA, we can look in the NCAA bubble of like things that never been done before, and that's definitely like JuVaughn Harrison winning the high jump and the long jump. Like, I didn't even know high jumpers do the long jump. Like, this man's really just breaking the whole, he broke the matrix for me, like, low key. But when you think about this as well, we gotta look on the outside and how people, the pros, are looking at these NCAA athletes. And I think the two people we have to key on is Athing Mu and Tyra Davis, who I think y'all are saying you claim her for Texas. Y'all definitely claim her for Texas, but she was out here from Southern Cal at first, out of Agora Hills. Like, she was doing her thing. She battled a lot of adversity from Georgia, transferring, her injuries, and I think for her fact to come out here indoors, do her thing, get the collegiate record, and then first time outdoors get the collegiate record, breaking the record held by Jackie Joyner-Kersee, also shows like how dominant she has been and how outstanding. So I'm definitely looking for her to be the front runner as well. But two people we didn't get to mention as the outstanding, we didn't mention Terrance Laird or Matthew Boling being those key factors. Who do you guys have the favorite, and how excited are you to watch this 200 go down?
I'm really excited, man. Like, the season has been incredibly fast. Like I said before, the outdoor season has really just kind of told the same story that the indoor was telling you. We've seen like Jalen Slade coming out, opening up 20.20 against Trevon Bamel, right? So you've got young boys running against grown men who are pros and putting that work to them, you know? And the thing about it is like that's happening across the board in college as well with Terrance Laird and Matthew Boling. So I just see it as going to be like a very, very, very like incredibly fast year in general. They both ran the same exact indoor time, which means by all right, they're somewhat in the same range, right? So really it's about who's executing the best, who's staying the healthiest, who's sleeping the best, who's eating the best, and who's focusing the best. Track is always about hard work. There's never somebody selected to win automatically. So whoever handles the competition at the right time and handles the environment the best will be the one that makes it to the top. Me personally, I know Matthew. I know he works hard. And he's from H-Town, Texas, baby. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
so,
sir.
you know, I'm definitely going to show some love to him. But shout out to LSU, too. I got folks out there in Louisiana, too. So much love, no hate. I think it's going to be a great battle.
Matthew, you got a favorite right now?
I would have to say my favorite will have to be Terrance Laird. I know I'm going against Houston, Coach Will. Matthew Bowen, you know, he holds it down for H-Town.
Yeah.
But for me, Terrance Laird is tired of being disrespected and overlooked. This man won SECs last year. No one was talking about it. It was Matthew Bowen this, Matthew Bowen that, this freshman coming in. So he has that chip on his shoulder and that extra motivation to prove himself. He won SECs this year, but he lost the natty to Matt at the line. So he's got something to prove already. And he's running 1981 first meet. I don't think anyone's run faster in American history on American soil at this point here as a collegiate. So for me, I'm going to have to rock with Terrance Laird because Matthew Bowen also has the weight of expectations on him.
With that being said, I think he's always met most of those expectations, though, I think.
Exactly. He rises to the occasion.
So we'll see.
Like you said, it's gonna be tight, but I'm
excited to see both. I think it's gonna be a fast on fast. How about that? It's gonna be probably about 19.70 at least.
Ooh. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. I got one more thing because this conversation too good. Like this young talent, Terrance Laird, Matthew Boylan, even brought up Jalen Slade. And let's not forget about Arion Knighton, who's also really young, trying to do his thing. Like, could we see a ushering of new talent here at the Olympic trials?
I think there is going to be a ushering of new talent in the Olympic trials at the trial setting. It'll be more younger athletes than it's ever been in the history, I believe, this time. But let's keep it real 1,100 with you. Let me keep it like Coach Will with you.
Keep it real.
Like, you're not going to be able to just walk up out there and be Justin Gatlin, baby. You ain't just going to be able to walk out there and be
They might make the final today. They ain't going no further.
Brother, you got to go through some rounds, baby. I heard you with your time today at the one-time meet. You're feeling good, brother. But we got to go through this 3 times. You think your little legs, your little young legs going to handle all this? And plus, at the end of the day, look, experience is what's going to hold consistency in track and training. So your experience allows you to have more confidence. When you get to big races, it's not about physically able to do it. Do you believe that you can and allow yourself to execute?
It's all about that mentality. And I was just looking at Noah Lyle's story yesterday, and someone asked him, are you, Laird and Boling are coming for you? He said that was a nice joke. So he and Noah, Noah's going to put the work in, and he is the world champion. So it's going to be him. And then we'll see how it shuffles out after there. But young cats, they have a shot. But like you said, that experience is ultimately going to really, to me, decide if they can overcome that or is it too big of an obstacle.
With 3 laps to go, we're joined by a 2-time NCAA All-American, the 2019 National Junior College runner-up as well. He's a 2-time SEC Indoor Champion, number 8 all-time in the world indoors in the 200 meters, and he's really all doing it at LSU. And this past weekend, bruh, this dude killed it at the Texas Relays, 19.81, bruh, completely demolished the field, number 3 all-time NCAAs. Terrance Laird is joining the show with us. How does it feel to just see what you've done, number 1 in the world, crossing that line at Texas Relays? And does it just feel good to wake up in the morning being like you number 1 in the world, 1981? How does it all feel right now?
I would say it feels good. I mean, personally, it wasn't my best race. I'll just be honest with you. I felt like there's a lot I can clean up. There's a lot I can work on. And it was obviously my first outdoor 200 in 2 years. So kind of coming from, indoor, then pandemic, so there's no outdoor, then back to indoor. So kind of running indoor back-to-back 2 straight years, and then, having to come out to outdoors, just kind of just see where I was at. I just wanted to try to build momentum and see where I was at outdoors. So obviously running 19 is special, no matter if it's win league or win aided. But I think just, I knew I was going to run 19. I just knew it. I just knew based on the training, just based on everything leading up to that moment. I just knew as long as the win was legal, I was going to run 19.
So what's your focus now going into these next races as you come in to run the 2 later on in the track season? What are you really focusing on to get to that perfect race that you want?
I think for me, it's just kind of breaking the race down into 3 different phases, kind of push. So like kind of the first 50. So I say like the first 50, then from like 50 to like 110, and then from like 110 to 200. So I feel like breaking down each race and executing, it's kind of like a triple jump. You have your 3 phases, breaking down those 3 phases and perfecting those 3 phases. I think once I do that, I'm not sure of time. I don't really want to put time on it, but I think if I just clean up everything and just really execute it, then I think big things will happen.
Also, what I really liked about your race, that you had a lot of swag with it too. Like, I'm not even gonna cap with you. Like the way that you ran with the upside down bib, like I don't know, that was innovative to me. You had the hooks down like a little bit. What went into that idea? Then also, can you shout out your guys' videographer real quick for LSU? Because I feel like this dude be in the right place, right time, like all the time, and really be putting you guys on with like the best footage in all the NCAA, to be honest.
Yeah, at Sheldon, he's the man. I mean, but the crazy thing is Sheldon, he goes above and beyond. Like he puts himself, he's good. Like he just has that vision, okay, he's running this race or like he's doing this, I'm gonna put myself in the best position to capture that moment. I think he does that the best out of anybody I've seen and at LSU and probably in the country. So when I came off the curb, I was looking straight ahead and I saw him. So I knew to just kind of just go where he was at, and it was going to be a lot. But the horns down, I have no disrespect to Texas, but our trainer, she was from Texas A&M, and she told me, "Can you do 2 things for me?" She said, "Can you win the race, and can you win the race, and obviously go out here and make up for the 4x1." And I took upon myself, because she's from Texas A&M, obviously, to put my bib upside down for that. So to show that I appreciated her for everything she had done. For so far, I've gotten healthy, like treatment, everything she's done for me. So it was kind of more of a token appreciation to her more than disrespect to Texas, because I have no disrespect to Texas. I mean, UT's a great track, great school. So I have no disrespect to them. It was more for her than for anything else.
Yeah, I love to see it. I love to hear it, bro. You guys are definitely doing great things, but more about like this 200 as well. You're really able to separate that last 100, but it seems like the competition is going to keep on getting stiffer and stiffer as the season goes on, as you already know. And the first stop to that is going to be once you get the SECs, now into NCAAs first, when you have to go up against, again, Matthew Boling and Joseph Fabelu from Florida as well. Just how exciting is it to have like that rivalry in your own conference? Because really, like this year, the SEC really has all the stars in the sprints and the jumps on the men and women's side who are going to be like competing for the Bowerman Award, NCAA championships, and breaking records constantly.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is not to get too tied up in SECs, right? Because SECs, I mean, you can run fast SECs, but if you can't replicate that at regionals to make nationals, or replicate that to go to trials and make the team, I mean, nobody's gonna remember like personally, nobody's gonna remember this 19.8. You know, if I don't run any faster than this, they're gonna be all right. You know, that was his peak. Or if I run faster than this, nobody's gonna remember that. So I feel like for me, it's just kind of looking more at the bigger picture. You know, whatever happens to SECs, win, lose, or draw. You know, just kind of move on. And because there's 3 meets after that. You have regionals, nationals, then trials. You know, then trials will dictate what you do in the summer. You know, if you make the Olympic Games, then you have another big fish to fry. So I feel like for me, it's just kind of taking it one day at a time, and it's kind of just executing my race. You know, if I execute my race, I feel like I can win. I feel like in indoor, I didn't execute my race, and I still almost won. So I feel like once I able to replicate my race, perfect my race, and just be able to run more smooth and more relaxed, I think that sky's the limit.
But really, just talking to you right now, like you just being so young, it seems like you have a lot of maturity with you, and I think that may contribute to you going to community college, bouncing back that 1 year. I really just want to know what you learned from when you're at Hines Community College. What has that changed for you, and how is that what you learned at Hines Community College still helping you to this day?
Just to work hard. I think kind of not to say Mamba mentality, but just to kind of be like, you get there, right? You could be the top dog. You could have been an Olympian or whatever. When you get there, you're a nobody. You have to earn your respect. You have to earn your recognition. So I feel like through there, I was able to just kind of just focus on, who I wanted to become. How do I want to carry myself? What image did I want to create? Because at that point, I was at rock bottom. I'm at the bottom. So I was building my brand, building myself back up, my character. And I felt from that point on, in track and field, in any sport, you have to be humble and you have to be hungry. You also have to be healthy. You have to have, there's 3 H's I kind of live by: humble, hungry, healthy. If you're not humble, right, somebody's going to humble you. It's just simple. I can go out here and talk, I'm going to win nationals. You know what? Nobody can beat me, da-da-da. You get humbled. Yeah. If you're not hungry, if you have no strive to be better, I don't care if you run a world record every race. There's always has to be a level that you're trying to achieve higher than what you've already achieved. That's just kind of my mentality. And then just being healthy, just taking care of your body mentally, physically, just putting yourself in the best situation when you line it up. For me, I put myself in the best situation. I hydrated right, I ate right, I was mentally prepared. And I just feel like just that dog mentality was just a kind of a normal mentality. Some mindset, people are like, oh, it's like mama mentality. No, it's just natural. It's just, if you see people that win, like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, there's just a certain level of focus and determination that they have. And that's all you have to, if you can channel that in yourself and exude it out in, to what you're doing, I mean, anything's possible.
Most definitely, bro. Humble, hungry, and healthy. You some of you young cats out there need to write that on your mirror, like put that in your journal or something right there, because I think this man was really preaching to y'all to really get to that next level. So thank you for that and sharing those 2 thoughts. But also as well, bro, you're number 1 in the world right now, and you're doing great things. Like, the possibility of you going to the Tokyo 2020 Olympics is really there, and it's in front of you. Just like, what would that mean to you?
I think it'd be really special, just because I would say, look back almost 6 years ago when I first started running track. I was like, one day I'm gonna be there. Just kind of like one of those the childhood dreams. Everybody said I want to be a football player, basketball player, and at that point it definitely was not reality. Obviously, I wasn't fast enough. Obviously. But I think just kind of how my natural ability mixed with the certain coaching and certain programs I've been in have really helped me get to this level. And I feel like now it's just like I'm in the home stretch, right? I was almost there.
Terrance Laird, thank you for joining the show, bro. All power to you. And we definitely going to be watching here at the Running Report and really just supporting you all the way through and through, bro. So really do just appreciate you coming on, sharing your time with us. And good luck with everything this season, bro. We're going to be watching.
I appreciate the invitation and I appreciate the support. And hopefully, it's going to be a good season. I just got to stay healthy, just kind of just take it one day at a time and just lock in.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. Thanks for your time.
No problem.
Was there like a certain moment or something where it kind of just shifted for you as a kid?
From a very young age, I was always really seeing things from a racial and critical lens. I was always saying the thing that was like kind of uncomfortable. So yeah, I was always like kind of like that troublemaker, but the person to use my voice. And so good call on that, Joshua. Like that's exactly the same energy that I brought to Harlem Run and all of these initiatives. Like, oh wait, I can do something about that. Oh wait, I can use my voice here. And the more you do it, it doesn't get easier, but you get more comfortable doing it and you can take on bigger challenges.
With 2 laps to go, we got to talk about the distance running that's been happening in the collegiate ranks, and especially on NCAA Championship weekend, where first off at indoors, we saw the dominance of Oregon men distance running, scoring 48 points of Oregon's 72 points between Charlie Hunter, Cooper Tier, and Cole Hawker. Complete domination from this Oregon trio. We talk about our takeaways, how like they're running like pros, but who also is running with professionals is NAU, the NAU Lumberjacks, bruh. At the NCAA Cross Country Championship, they scored about 60 points and got the dub, completely dominating the field, led by Nico Young, only a freshman, bruh. Not even the fastest dude on the track, arguably, goes out there and gets it done for the NAU Lumberjacks, winning their 4th title in the last 5 seasons. It's honestly just remarkable to see what NAU has done and to see the resurgence of the Oregon Ducks. But I had to bring in the brother from the same mother, Aaron Potts, Super Hot Potts, because the question is now rising with Oregon coming back to this elite form that we always seen them as in the distance rank, as they have such a historic history. They're coming back and claiming the king of the hill. That's a lot of people like to say in the distance ranks, or is it still NAU at the king of the hill and at the top of the mountain for you in these distance ranks?
I just want to start off and say, like, Oregon being good in track and field, it's like in the NBA when the Lakers are playing good, when the Celtics are good. It's always good for the sport to have Oregon out there doing their thing and really dominating. And what they did this indoor season, winning the 8, the 3K, and the mile, and the DMR, basically every event except the 5K, which they didn't have anyone entered, I believe. That says a lot about where Oregon's at. And it's been a while since we've seen Oregon really get this dominant. Like, we know that they get these good people on their team always, from the Blake Haney, shout out Austin Tomagno, and whatever. But these past couple of years, it's been NAU. And I don't know if I can say that they really took an NAU spot, because Nico Young, he wanted to go. He was the number 1 recruit. He's choosing NAU. Hobbs Kessler, 357, he's choosing NAU. And I think a big thing is this is particularly skewed because we saw Luis Grijalva beat Cooper Tier earlier this year, and I believe he would have been with them. I know he got a little banged up or whatever, but he may have been right with them. So they have so much potential that we haven't seen on the track because of COVID. So I think this track season is going to be like a really big determinant if like Oregon has really taken over, because NAU won 4 out of the last 5 years of cross country, bro. And they produce on the track too. We can't forget about Tyler Day, Matthew Baxter, Andy Troard. Like, they always have people up there. But I would say Oregon, y'all got the middle. They got the middle distances, but NAU is right there, or there's something in the water over there, because top high schoolers are choosing that over Oregon sometimes too.
Are you done? You're done? You're done. I'm just asking. I'm just saying, this is the same guy. If you've been tuned into the running report, if you've been tuned into Two Black Runners, that was up here saying Cole Hawker is the favorite to win the 1500 at U.S. Olympic trials. This is the same dude. I don't know where his loyalty lies. But I'm with Oregon. Oregon has reclaimed the throne as the king of the hill in the distance race in NCAAs. And honestly, it's from that indoor performance, bro. It's from the Oregon trio putting the whole entire Oregon squad on their back. Like, I'm not disrespecting Michael Williams, but like, bro, 48 of 72 points, like that's amazing stuff. Like, what they're doing, it's incredible. And like, they're the king of the hill, not just even on the stats part and what they're doing in the middle distance ranks from the 3K to the 8. But like, bro, can we not forget about my man Ben Crawford? I know he ain't associated with Oregon like that anymore, but like, what this man has done for this team and bringing them to a different level, they have become the faces of the NCAA in track and field, like low key. Like, they have become that face. And let me say this as well, like, shout out Ben Crawford. But one more thing, and I want to hear what you have to say with this. Like, NAU, they cool. They good in cross country, but what have they done in track for me lately? Like, honestly, like, the last champion they had was Beamish. They had Andy Truard as well, indoors. I just need more. I need Nico Young to come out here and run like 3:53 outdoors in the mile. Like, I need more from the track to really.
You want to see Northern Arizona perform on the track. And last was like Tyler Day. He had that indoor record, but you forgetting about COVID. They didn't get to race indoors in 2020. They didn't race outdoors in 2020. Luis Grava raced Cooper Tier and he beat him. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe Luis Grava's in the 3K with them. Maybe he wins it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
and let me just say one more thing too. Like, you were speaking earlier, the reason I'm not saying anything about what Oregon has done in the track lately on the tracks, because like, they don't need to prove themselves. NAU needs to prove themselves. Like, I know we still have like Lopez Lamont in the past, but like, no shade to Lopez. Like, Lopez old. Actually, that ain't shade. Like, Lopez is still relevant, and this man was running when it was like SD television pixelated. You feel me? And he's still running those times. Bro, that was the last time we had like an NAU outdoor champion. Oregon has the history. Like you said, bro, when they running good, Oregon running good on the track and the distance, and especially like leading their team to victory, that is good for the sport.
And hey, you know, a good thing to look at too is NAU is that 3-stripe life. So this is low-key an arms race between the brands when you really think about it. They don't want to see NAU. Nike don't want to see NAU doing good. So that's something to think about too. I did listen, shout out to the Beer Mile podcast. I heard Cooper Tier and Cole Hawker talking about potentially coming back and going for that triple crown. So if this historic Oregon team was to come back to face up against this historic NAU team for a cross country championship for this upcoming fall, get your popcorn ready for that. That would be dope to watch.
It's gonna be exciting. Can't wait to see it. And thanks for coming on, Aaron. Really do appreciate it. Like always, bruh. We're going to move on, though. Thanks for coming on, though.
Hey, miss you, Coach O. I know you didn't want the smoke this week, but it's all good.
Why you do the man like that?
I'll catch you next time.
With one lap to go, it's time for our Bell Lap question, which is a question that comes straight from you guys. But I got something to say. Emily Sisson has reclaimed her spot in U.S. women's distance running. In March, she totally just dominated the women's distance running scene domestically. She won the Sound Running track meet in the 5K in a 14:55, number 14 all time in the U.S. as well. And then like 2 weeks later, she won the USATF 15K championships for number 4 all time in the 15K on the roads. And let's not forget about in December when she finished 6th place at the Valencia half marathon against the world's best and ran the number 2 half marathon all time for the US, just 1 second off of her teammate Molly Huddle. Like, honestly, like, we've all forgotten what Emily Sisson has done in the past. Let's not forget too, like in 2017 and 2019, she was part of those 10K teams that made it to the World Championships. Like, she has been doing her thing for the past 4 years, but it seems like every single time, like, Elise Cran Cranny and Carissa Schweizer run number 3 and number 4 all time in the 10K, or if Natasha Rogers starts running fast, Rachel Snyder starts running fast, like all these people that start coming in running 10K, we tend to forget about Emily Sisson and Molly Huddle and Mario Hall and Emily Enfield, who have been doing it for the past 4 years consistently and on a consistent basis. And we're just like, Bowerman this, Bowerman that. And let me say, I've fallen victim to this. I most definitely have. I've fallen victim, and I do believe that at least Cranny and Carissa Schweizer, if they decide to run the 10K, they got a great shot to make the team. They really do. They have a fantastic shot. It seems like we've just forgotten what she and Molly Huddle did at Stanford in 2019 when they completely demolished the field during their marathon prep for the 10,000, and Emily Sisson was still able to run the number 3 10K of all time. Like, these are things that just happened 2 years ago, and we seem to forgotten that Emily Sisson was so fast. And I'm saying this all to say basically that the 5K and the 10K at the US Olympic trials for the women is going to be one of the most competitive storylines that we have at the meet. And you may be thinking, like, it's a 5K and the 10K, like, how competitive can that be? It takes so long. It's like 30 minutes. Like, trust me, sit down, watch these events when they come to the US Olympic trials. It's so wide open, and there's so many people that can get it done. We're going to have the young guns of Elise Cranny and Carissa Schweizer, and even people like who are underdogs like a Natasha Rogers and a Rachel Schneider, who can still be getting done and running like the 15 and the 10K. Or even if Shelly Houlihan decides to run the 10K and even the 5, like, these two events, they're basically grouped together with the 5K and the 10K, and like, they're going to be so competitive. So my question to you guys, as we're all anticipating with outdoors coming out and the US Olympic trials are really just going to come right around the corner soon enough, what events are you most excited for? Give me your top 3, and I'm gonna give you my top 3 right now. It has to be the women's 400-meter hurdles for obvious reasons. Dalilah Muhammad, Sydney McLaughlin, the fastest to ever do it, and then Corey Carter, Shamir Little, and Ashley Spencer are great as well. And then the men's 800 would be my number 2 most excited for obvious reasons as well. Donovan Brazier, Bryce Hoppel, that great rivalry. Then see who's gonna get that 3rd spot. And then my 3rd most excited has to be the women's 5K and 10K. They're basically both basically the same events, and we're gonna see a lot of overlap and people also doing the 15 as well. And we're gonna see even people like Sarah Hall coming down from the marathon and trying to compete and try and get that spot. So I just want to let you guys know, comment down below, what do you guys think? What are you most excited for the Olympic trials, and what events are you most excited to see? And just let me know what you guys really think, bro. And don't forget about Emily Sisson. Don't forget about Molly Huddle. They're here, and they're here to stay. But make sure you guys comment down below on all of the laps that we went through from the beginning to the end, because I really do want to hear from what you guys think, and I want to have some discussions with y'all down there in the comments as well. So if you comment down below, I'll definitely respond back. We'll get in some arguments and we'll chat it all up, because I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear what you guys think. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that joined me, all my friends from Will Collins, Matthew Parker, Terrance Laird, and the brother from the same mother, for just coming on to the show. And also, I want to let you guys know that we actually have a podcast version of these episodes now. So expect these episodes on the Running Report show every single first Monday of the month, where we give you the biggest running news every single month as well. And you can also catch it everywhere you stream a podcast if you want to listen to the audio version. And there'll be extended clips to even like the Terrance Laird interview. Our first lap will have an extended version as well. And we're just going to keep on doing this, and more stuff is on the way as we get closer to the Olympics, as the Running Report keeps on growing. And y'all with us, bro. It's the Running Report, produced for the culture and by the culture, and we're produced for y'all, bro. So go ahead, give us a like, give us a comment, follow us on Instagram and everything like that, bro. See y'all next time on the Running Report.